welcome to another episode of the Socialers Podcast, stories of social media professionals. I'm Jason, and I'm here with my trusted partner, whose name
Joanna.
is... Yeah,
Joanna.
I'm not going to say it for you.
I thought you wanted me to fill in the first part too. Who is my
That's funny because
favorite employee?
I'm used to doing these on my own, so I'm not used to sharing the spotlight. So this is episode 4, so if you're listening, there's still going to be a little bit of awkwardness and transitioning with this new format. Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm now, for those that don't know, and that would probably be just about everybody that might be listening to this, I just had ankle surgery 2 weeks ago, and this is my first time sitting back in a chair and not on my back with my ankle elevated above my heart. And let me tell you, having walking and standing taken away from you for an extended period of time really makes you appreciate the little things in life very much. So I'm very happy to be back living.
It's good to have you back. It's good to have you back vertical.
It was not pleasant being on calls in a bed in my guest bedroom, having to explain to people what's going on.
You really made the most of it though. You went whole hog and you were playing with the filters. Oh,
that's true. I started doing that with our team. Yes. It just looked ridiculous. And not to mention this ridiculous beard. I didn't shave, and yeah.
I feel your arms were dead too. Couldn't shave. I couldn't shave. I couldn't shower. Lazy? I couldn't brush my teeth.
I did need help with the showering part, at least in the first week. They gave me this boot that I had to put over my leg, so I needed a little assistance there, but I am taking care of myself again. For those of you that are all worried and concerned, I can now feed myself and bathe myself and all those
Thank God.
Fun things. So, and that's what everybody really was looking for an update on. Really,
we're gonna drop off so many followers now because they've gotten everything they needed.
I don't know. Right. It's my understanding you talk about funny or interesting stuff outside of your theme, so that's what's top of mind for me. What's top of mind for you? What's happened in the past week or two that's talk-worthy?
I've been thinking about this a lot recently because some of our clients are teetering on this conversation from me. And I was thinking, what example do I have that would help prove that this needs to happen for them? And I remember when I was an account manager myself a long time ago, we had a client who, our main point of contact brought in like another agency that they were working with to be involved with the social media work so that we could all be on the same page, which sounds like it would be good and effective, right? But they were involved in the approval process. So I had a dual level of approval. It had to go through the main point of contact, had to go through the new person. They had to be on every call. It slowed everything down immensely, just having that many cooks in the kitchen. And we weren't getting anything done. It was an e-commerce brand, so we needed to make conversions. And we weren't getting any traction because everything took so long. Every change took about 2 weeks to go through their internal rounds of approval. And the main person at their company booked a call with me and said, "What's going on? We're not getting any conversions." And I stuck my hand up and I was like, hold on. This is what's happening. It takes 2 weeks to book a call. I want to move at the speed of light, and I will, but I can only move as fast as your team. She was great. She immediately removed that client from the project. And I just remember almost overnight, we started getting things done and had conversions. It's just like solid proof, too many cooks in the kitchen, it'll slow things down. It has nothing to do with the talent of the other agency or the people involved. It's just the fact that everyone has an opinion, and that slows things down way too much.
We try to stay away from that as much as possible, not because we're not willing to work with anybody else, but to your point, it's too many cooks in the kitchen. It slows things down. Agencies can oftentimes just be looking out for themselves. I think we do a pretty good job of being a good partner and only taking whatever slice of the pie makes the most sense for the client, but I think that's pretty rare. So, but sometimes you don't have a choice. I would say that
the main point of contact has about 60% weight in terms of the effectiveness or the potential of the account.
Yeah.
If they don't know what Facebook is, guaranteed it's going to be a slow launch. Guaranteed.
Yeah.
We've seen it. We have it. I hate that we have it, but we have several points of contact who don't know what Facebook is or how to log in or what's going on. So
such as agency life.
It's rough out there.
Yeah. So rough. If that's as bad as it gets, then you're doing okay. Certainly we have better horror stories than that, but we don't have to get into that today.
We do get to talk about haters and trolls today.
Haters and trolls. Sounds like
have you ever had a hater?
Sitcom.
Like not
personally?
Not a business hater or troll. Like personally, have you been trolled?
I don't. That's a good question. Nothing comes to mind personally, but then again, I don't.
You don't post a lot.
I mean, not anymore. But even when I was, I was never really that. I wasn't pushing the envelope with any of my any content I was putting out. So I don't know that I was someone that was really a target for that sort of thing. I wasn't ever that important. I mean, I've seen plenty of it on the client side, but
I don't think I've
never had
ever
anybody come at me. Nobody's come at me, bro.
Trolled.
You? Has somebody come at you?
I don't think so. No, I've been called a bully. I've been called a bully on this. So I follow like cult. No, now I've said it. Like culty, like religious people, where it's like evangelical Christians. The ones who are getting in all the trouble. And one of them posted something that I just couldn't resist. It was something when Black Lives Matter was a humongous topic. And she posted something like, "This is why I will never say the words." And I was like, I just said something like, that's pretty sad that you can't even say those words without feeling some type of way. And I was called a bully and immediately blocked, which I wear as a badge of honor.
Well, see, there's your problem, is that you put an opinion out in the public sphere.
I don't anymore. I just watch. I watch from afar. It's my toxic habit.
Point. It doesn't matter. You could be like, I am for helping, getting
paralyzed dolphins.
Yeah. And then they'll be like, well, what about the sharks? I'm like, really? It's like, it doesn't matter. People just do it to get a rise out of people.
Yeah. So I guess that leads to the segue of the first point is you probably will get hate as a brand at some point for doing something, not doing something. So I thought we could go through some of the basics just to get those out of the way. And then go into a few strategies. So the first basic, never ignore the comments. If it's something hateful or trolling, there's always something to be done about it, right? So don't just read it and leave it. Either comments are reacted to, liked, loved, hearted, or responded to, or deleted. If it's just garbage, if it's non-constructive, definitely delete and block.
Yeah, no matter what, you need to act quick. You obviously don't want to let those things permeate. I mean, most places where somebody can post something like that, you have the opportunity to respond. So, and which seems like a no-brainer. Like that's not like some revelation, but so many businesses don't. I mean, if you're like McDonald's or, these bigger brands that just get a massive amount of comments on I can understand, not responding to every little thing, but for most businesses where the volume is manageable, or if somebody leaves a review, not responding is the worst thing you can do. Yeah.
The second one is whether the complaint is valid or entirely out of left field, the responses should always be professional and polite. I feel like, again, this is a basic, but I think a lot of people take those messages and comments personally, especially when the business owner is involved with the community management. It's like a personal attack, right? Even if it's something that's so outlandish or the client or customer exaggerated so much, you're not just responding to that person. It is not a gotcha moment. It's not a time to be like, well, I know you're lying because of X, Y, and Z. It should always be professional and polite because you're talking to the whole world. You're talking to everyone who has access to your website or page or reviews. So it's better to not take the immediate gratification of making a outlandish commenter feel stupid. It's much better to play the long game, be professional, be polite. You can explain the situation if there is one, but always take the high road.
Yeah, not to mention, I mean, you're on stage, right? For the most part. And, you know, most people, when they're looking, if they're assessing your reputation, and they're doing that by looking at reviews or comments or things of that nature, most people understand that, you know, it's pretty rare for a business to have like a perfect score or perfect review for everything. There's always somebody that leaves something negative. So I think people expect that. I think ultimately what it comes down to is, you know, how much of that, and assuming that there's not a lot of it and it's the exception, not the rule. What they're more looking for is what you have to say in response to it. And honestly, if it's, you know, to your point, be professional and accurate and honest about it. That's the best thing that you can do. And most people can overlook those.
Yeah. Other customers are just going to want to see that you're polite and professional about it. They don't want to see a like sassy back and forth. That's fun for no one. I remember we had
now the exception of that is I have seen, and this is
some
probably
witty back and forth.
like restaurant reviews on Yelp or something, where if somebody just has the most outlandish negative review and it just seems so ridiculous, if it's clever and you're being a little bit sassy, but it's funny, and you know, in situations like that again, that assumes that if that's you, if that's your personality, then and it's authentic, that can work. But you got to be good at it, and you have to be careful, you know, not to go too far with it.
And I think the original comment needs to be clearly absurd for that to work. Yeah. Because if there's anything valid in there and you come back with something,
if there's merit,
quote unquote witty, I don't know if it's going to come across that way.
I think the perfect example, I think I've seen one where like an influencer will leave a bad review because like, I was there and I have 1,300 followers and I'd let them know about my Instagram channel and they didn't give me any free food. Like shit like that. Like when you see stuff like that, I mean, then it's open season and stuff like that.
No, definitely. I think we talked about this a little bit, but the next basic, you're not just responding to that one person, you're responding to the world. You're always on stage. People are looking for that. Like you just said, most people expect to see some negativity in reviews. It almost grounds the business. It's like, okay, I see all this positive stuff, you know, maybe they got a gift card for doing that. What do the negative people have to say? And if the negativity is something that customers can overlook, then that's going to be better for you, especially if you address it in a professional way.
Agreed. I don't have to be like the guy that has to say something about everything. Mr. Know-it-all. Not. That's my response.
It just took you like 15 seconds to say you didn't want to add anything.
I guess I just contradicted myself.
I don't want to talk about myself.
What are we doing? I'm out of here.
No. One more basic, and we'll get into the juicy stuff. Check the frequency of the comments you're getting. Like you said, people like McDonald's probably don't have the bandwidth, nor should they respond to every single comment. But if you notice a trend, people asking the same question, people having the same complaint, use that as an idea generator for content. I would say the majority of our blogs for Socialistics come from questions that prospects have, or a reason that they wouldn't go with us as an agency. Oh, I think I should go with a bigger agency, or I think I should go with an agency that does digital marketing, not just social media. It's a great way to get ideas for future content, whether that be email blasts, blog posts, or just a piece of content where you're getting that feedback from on an Instagram post, then post it on Instagram. Agreed? I like this.
Yeah. Well, here. So I want to use a real life. I want to use a real life. That was all of them, right? Was it
all the basics? But I got 3 strategies for responses.
Okay. Let me share a story about this that's relevant to us. So for us, for those of you that own agencies, I'm sure you're familiar with Clutch. It's a huge directory for us. We get quite a few leads from them, so our reputation there is important. And I think we have about 30 reviews on there right now. And we have 1 bad review. We had a perfect 5.0 score on that damn site and one bad review, and we're at 4.7, which doesn't sound like that much, but it is.
It's a blow.
It's a blow, and it wasn't fair, which was really frustrating. Because the client will be not named, but it was an e-commerce
you can
client.
Go find it.
I'm sure, yeah. If you really want to dig, you'll find it. And you could, you could speak better to me about the actual relationship and how it all went down, but ultimately, what it boiled down to, it wasn't a good fit for us. I mean, we'd only been working together for, a couple months, and there just was not a professional chemistry, unrealistic expectations. If I remember correctly, they spent like significantly less budget during the holiday season than they did the previous season, but expected better results.
And they didn't. Yes, they were comparing. They would say, we got 600 clicks last year. I mean, you can compare CPC or a rate. You can't compare a flat number without saying what it relates to.
And we delivered a better CPC or a better CPC.
Correct. CPC and conversion. Yeah, so we were just confused.
Yeah, we were providing more value, just not the same amount of volume, but that they had cut their budget dramatically. And this person said that wasn't good enough, and no matter what we said,
we're getting it's like droplets of hints.
I know.
It's by the end of this.
If somebody wants to look it up, they can go see it.
But also,
it's public domain.
So we were in the middle of explaining to this person that if you spend less, you're going to get less, essentially. But unfortunately for us, we had the employee who was working on this account had a family tragedy and had to be out for a couple of weeks. Now, we easily slip in and cover for her. But because she's kind of riled up about this situation, or thinks thinks one thing, but doesn't want to hear the other side of it. She was very upset by this. And she actually said that in the review. She said, I think she didn't believe us. She said something.
Yeah.
Like, the person had a family emergency. In quotes.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. It didn't matter what we did at that. And look, I'm not ever claiming that we're perfect at things. We always look back at these situations. Oh, what could we have done better? But ultimately, and we had a contract. I let her out of it. I said, I don't think it's a good fit. I think we're really trying to make this work, blah, blah, blah. I think you'd be better served, working with somebody else. And she got really pissed at that, which rarely happens. Oftentimes when we're in a situation where it's not working, they're like, oh, I appreciate that. I appreciate that you're not gonna, that you're being forthcoming about this and you're relieving me of my obligations. I try to be respectful, but it was the opposite with her. She
wanted us to stay on.
She was pissed. She wanted us to stay on and keep doing unrealistic things. I'm like, I'm sorry.
And she wasn't treating the team with the respect that we demand from our clients. So emails started to get a little bit prickly, bit, they crossed the line. And so like we often do, if it's not a good fit, genuinely, we don't want to work with them and they don't want to work with us. We'll cut ties.
So we did that. Well, I did that. And I think she was pissed because we were doing this during the holiday season, and she felt that left her in a difficult position. And I get it, but it's like, I just didn't think continuing that relationship. I guess if I had known she was going to go, blast us on a clutch, I may have tried to, get in front of that. But rarely do clients do they go and do that, but she did. And the review she left it wasn't accurate, because there was in the grand scheme of things, we did a lot of things right, but she just said we did everything wrong. She scored us as low as we possibly could, and just, tore us a new one on there. And I'm like, I remember reaching out to Clutch. I said, look, this isn't accurate. Like, are you okay with this? And their response, they don't do anything. I mean, you literally, if I wanted to go leave a fake crappy review, I mean, I don't know if they would do anything about it. So it was basically, all I could do was basically what we talked about today, is what I left a respectful, accurate
from
response.
Memory, you sent me your first draft of the response, and I remember saying, let's take another pass and be even more polite, because you do get fired up, as anyone would. You get upset, especially when something's not true. So I think we just kept whittling it down until it had only its necessary components.
Yeah. And it bothered me for a while. I'm like, God, God damn it. Now, people can our score, like it's just so frustrating. And then I think over time I realized, you know what? It's funny. I think this might actually not, it might actually be a good thing. And here's why, because now when people go, if they go look and they read through everything, if they see that, they're going to be like, oh, they're probably going to think to themselves, these reviews are actually real. Like they're not fake. Like, and I have another story I'll tell there, but like you can tell when reviews are fake. It's a little bit harder with Clutch because they call you an interview. It's a little bit more involved, but like on Google, you can tell when reviews are fake and they're just, businesses are either paying people to do it or using fake accounts. But when you occasionally see a review that's maybe not that great, they're like, oh, okay, well, this is a real company. And so it adds a layer of authenticity, I think, to who we are. And if somebody sees like 5.0, 5.0, 5.0, that like when you see companies on there that have like 70, 80, 90 reviews and they're all 5.0, I'm like, really? I mean, are those all accurate? I mean, is that real reality? I mean, we even have a couple reviews where we got 4 out of 5 on some things. Like we're not perfect, I think we're damn good, but I think it adds a layer of authenticity to it. So
yeah, I think
we've been
so
on the
too.
receiving end of it. So,
oh yeah. All right. So there's 3 different strategies I think are the most common when it comes to responding to negativity or hate, trolls, whatever.
yeah.
So strategy 1 is to use humor. So I think, Jason, you were talking about this before. This definitely, you need to be careful about this. If it's a sensitive topic, something political or something sensitive, humor is probably not the best option. Definitely use it sparingly. I came across this image of this brand responding to, this isn't really that negative, but basically they made a post and it had a typo in it. And someone tweeted, of course, brands should avoid typos, and tag them in it. And I guess it got a few retweets. And so they saw it and they tweeted back, "We heard you. This has reached the highest level. The team has swung into action." And they attached a picture of like a notepad piece of paper that just says, "We will not spell coming soon as coming soon 10 times. So they're like repenting for their sins. Yeah, I think stuff like that where it's like kind of innocent. And then their response got 5 times the amount of retweets.
Yeah.
So it's good. If you can be funny,
Yeah.
People will just gravitate towards you as a brand, whether or not the brand is relevant to them.
Whatever's being trolled is like not a big deal. If it's not a big deal and it's such a small, you can totally turn it in your favor.
Yeah. Oh man, we have some of the community management we do. The responses you get, like you're right. You cannot post a photo of someone wearing blue scrubs more so than green scrubs, or someone will call you out for it. Like it is ridiculous, the silliness that we get.
Yeah, people have so much extra time on their hands.
I know. All right, strategy 2, acknowledge and apologize. I love when I see brands do this. I don't want to hear your excuses. I don't want to hear that you were understaffed. I don't want to hear anything other than owning up to whatever the grievance was. So not only acknowledging it, taking responsibility, apologizing to the person, but going a step extra and providing something for them. How are you going to make amends for this person? And again, it is not you giving one person $15 and it's like, okay, well, that person is $15. It is you're on stage for the world. Everyone is seeing what you're doing to make amends with this person. So it's a much bigger investment in that. This is kind of a tangent because it's not about negativity, but a brand, Chewy, it's like a pet supplies online shop. I've seen them multiple times for great responses. People who will order dog food and then while they, have the bag of dog food, their dog passes away. I saw something where someone messaged saying, "Hey, is there any way I can return this? My dog passed away." They said, "Keep the food, donate it to your local animal shelter." And then they sent them like flowers and a handwritten note saying, "I'm so sorry for your loss." And they go viral because of it. You know what I mean? Like they're giving themselves free advertising because of how magical their community management is and how much they're willing to go above and beyond to make amends or to fix something.
Yeah, I love that.
So this person tweeted a photo of a sandwich from a cafe and said $3.95 for this rather uninspiring sandwich at your cafe. And it probably got a fair bit of traction. And so the brand responded, hey, it's catering manager, wanted to offer you free ice cream by way of apology. Can you DM us so we can put you in touch with the property team? Thank you. So not only are they acknowledging it instead of, just deleting or blocking, but they're making it better.
Good stuff. I like it.
Agreed?
Agreed. Check.
We need just like a button where you record that and you just have to push
sound
it.
Effects in this. Here. We use Squadcast for recording. They needed like sound effects buttons.
Can you just make them with your mouth?
I guess I could. I'll think of that next time so people won't know if I do it.
This next time I finish, when you say agreed, it needs a sound effect.
Okay. All right. Got it.
Okay. The third strategy is take it offline. So this is a good option when the complaint is either something personal, if you're like a healthcare brand or anything where you need to maintain some level of privacy for your customers or clients. Make sure to take it offline as soon as possible so that person doesn't feel like they're having to talk about the details of whatever happened. But when you ask them to move into the DMs or email, make sure that you prioritize a response there because they've already reached out and they want to deal with the issue as quick as possible. So the example is Walmart. Someone tweeted that they had a bad experience at Walmart. I can't see the tweet above. And Walmart responded, we value your feedback. Did you get the chance to share this issue with our store management? The person said, unfortunately, no, I was upset, so I left. Until Walmart said, we understand. How about telling us more? And they gave a link to submit a form. So take it offline. You don't want a bunch of comments about how horrible someone's experience is, right? You don't want to go back and forth asking them specific questions about the terrible experience that they had, all to live on your social media publicly. You hear about their bad experience, people can see you acknowledging it and moving it offline, not only for this person's privacy, but so that you can kind of mitigate more negativity. Agreed.
Ding! That's the best I could come up with.
I feel like my elevator just arrived. We'll work on it.
I'm going to work on some sound effects that I'll have at my disposal.
If you guys could see Jason the whole time I was talking, I could see him smirking to himself.
I was trying to dig something up on my phone to use, but I'm like, I probably don't have enough time. So maybe next time.
That's what you came up with. Oh,
yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah. Alrighty. Time for your trivia question. Yeah, that's all.
Oh. But I got a story. Let's do the trivia question, and then I've got a tip that I want to use that's related. Or should we do my tip first, then the trivia question?
Do your tip first.
I'm saying
excited
this
about this.
It's kind of related, and I was dealing with it this past week, and so that I want to slide it in. So when it comes to reputation management, if you're listening to this and you're a social media professional, which hopefully you should be, if you're not and you're listening to this, that would be weird, but we're down. Or you're in an agency, own an agency, you're often looking for vendors or you're looking for resources that you use for your business. I was doing this. I was kind of starting to take a look at maybe some different options for accounting and tax planning. So I've gone down this rabbit hole of how to pay the least amount of taxes possible legally. And it's just maddening, trying to make sense of all of it. So I'm maybe I need a tax advisor to just kind of look at my shit and tell me what I'm not doing. So I found this company. I'm not going to say their name because I wasn't thrilled with how it turned out. I didn't hire them. I found them. They were backed by a shark from Shark Tank. So I'm like, oh, I love Shark Tank. So this has got to be legit. And they may very well be legit. I don't know. Long story short, got on a call with them. It felt squirrely, felt kind of weird, super salesy. So I went online and wanted to check the reputation, right? I want to check the reviews. There wasn't a ton in organic search results in terms of anything in depth. So I kind of started looking at their Google reviews. I started looking at Trustpilot, which is another kind of big one. And it all looked very, very suspicious because most of the reviews, and I say most, I mean 95% of them were all glaring, awesome. Just, it didn't, the language felt very prepared. And then I dug a little bit deeper. And if you look at all these reviews, every single person that left a review and I mean everyone that I saw on Trustpilot and Google, all had only left one review on that platform, right?
You did some investigating.
I did. And I'm like, these aren't real. There's no way. Like there isn't anybody. None of these reviews are from people that regularly leave reviews. They're all one. They've only left one review. So what's the point of this rambling story is that if you're researching and you are trying to vet out anything, if you look at their stuff and all the people leaving reviews have only left one review on that platform, whether it's Google or Trustpilot or Yelp or whatever, super red flag. They are probably paying for those. They're probably fake accounts. They're probably paying for them. I can't say definitively, but if it looks like a duck and it walks like a duck
and quacks like a duck.
Yeah, that one too. So
eats like a duck.
Mean, again, is this isn't like, I'm sure it's a little bit common sense, but I don't know. I mean, I wasn't looking for it in that respect. I was just kind of reading through. I'm like, oh, they seem legit. I'm like, wait a minute.
I know. We fell for something recently. Hayden got like a face mask, like a cleanser. And when he was ordering it, he was like, man, it has so many 5-star reviews. We got it. And with the package, we got get a $10 Amazon gift card if you leave us a 5-star review.
Yeah.
We were like, great.
And you know what's interesting there? Did it say, I don't know if you remember this, did it say leave us a positive review or did it say just leave a review?
It said leave us a 5-star review, which I'm pretty sure is illegal.
You can't, well, it's not illegal, but that's against the terms and conditions of just
about illegal.
Any. Well, you're allowed to incentivize asking for a review. You can't say leave a 5-star review and we will give you this thing.
It was 5-star for sure.
Yeah, no, that's violation. Violators.
We were duped. We were duped. I'll never recover.
That's my sound effect. God, I am terrible at sound effects. I need a soundboard. I'm getting a soundboard.
Yeah, just get a soundboard app and just hit random ones at random times.
That's horrible.
Okay, are you avoiding your trivia question because you know you're going to get it wrong?
What do you got? Oh man,
I know you're going to be pissed.
Why am I getting trivia questions about social media? I don't do the work anymore.
I know, that's why it's so funny. Okay, let me count these again. Okay. What are the 7 reactions
okay.
that you can leave on a Facebook post?
The 7, like what? Like the icons or whatever? Like the little...
Name them.
God. Can I like slowly pull it up while you don't know?
No! I'm watching your eyeballs.
Thumbs up. Right? A thumbs
Check.
up.
Dink.
A smiley face? Happy smiley face? It's gotta be that, right?
No.
No.
No, I'm not giving you that one.
Thumbs we got.
No.
There's no thumbs down anymore.
No.
Thumbs up. I don't even use these things. I think I've ever used one.
Oh, come on.
Up, what else would it be? There's got to be a face, some sort of face of some sort, right? Is there a face?
Yeah. There are multiple faces. What do you feel?
A heart.
Yes. Okay. A like and a heart.
A thumbs up, a heart, something representing happiness, sadness.
Yes, I'll give you sadness. This is horrible.
Sadness one. What else?
4 more.
There's 4 more. Give me a hint. I can't remember. I'm not looking at it at all, I promise.
Do you ever think something's funny?
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Does anything ever make you angry? As if the angry emoji isn't your most used button.
So it's all the emotions. So like, love, angry, sad, happy.
And one more.
One more?
Oh, no, two more.
Man, I'm looking at
Surprise.
Facebook and I can't even...
Surprise? Like,
Surprise?
Wow. Like, mouth open. Just did it. And care. Care was a hard one. I was expecting you to get all of them, but care.
No way.
So...
I don't ever... I think the only time I ever use those sorts of things is when we're in Slack, because it actually serves like a legitimate purpose Like, what's the point? Like, if I'm going to take the time to like react to a social media post, I will like leave a comment, which is in and of itself
Well,
pretty
you
rare.
did not do that to my story. You left a fire emoji.
Which one? Oh, for our socialist? Well, I have to. Who else is going to do it right now? It's like, I mean, that's the exception. So
Yeah. Well, you need to study up because these questions are only going to get harder. These are, what do they call them? Softballs in your language.
great. So now this is a thing. I mean, if it gets the listeners on board, then I'm happy to be made to look stupid. A social media
I'm not
agency owner
trying
that
to
doesn't know
stump you.
social media.
These are good questions.
It's fine though, because you know what? This is a good thing because, you know, and I was talking to somebody earlier, like at this point in the history of our agency, I shouldn't be doing the work. I shouldn't be knee deep in it. Like, that's a good thing. So if you're listening, don't judge me when I get these wrong. I technically should be getting them wrong. And if I get them right, then that's just like an added bonus.
Exactly. We'll do this work for you. We'll know this stuff for you.
I'm doing work. It's just not that work. This went off the rails quickly. All right. We're at 36 minutes. That's our sweet spot.
Bye.
Ish. We don't. You can't say bye like that. It's got to be a little bit. You got to let them. We got to give the outro music time to do its thing. So it's probably it's probably starting right about now, and then we can wrap it up. So thanks for listening. Thanks for listening. Like it, share it, tell your friends, tell us what we're doing wrong, all that good stuff.
Troll us, give us negative comments.
Yeah, troll us. Troll and hate. Neither of us have gotten any, so please do so we can put our
let us know
strategies in
you've
action.
listened to the whole episode by leaving a negative comment. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't care. I mean, we'll take anything right now. So
Any review's a good review.
agreed. Well, all right. Thanks for listening. See you next time. Follow us on socials.com, social media, all that good stuff. Say bye.
Bye.